The Indian equity markets just experienced a massive systemic correction. The benchmark Nifty index slipped below the critical 24,200 level, while the Sensex plummeted over 600 points in a single trading session. This sudden downward movement was primarily driven by aggressive capital rotation. Capital rotation occurs when large institutional players pull money out of overvalued market sectors to reposition it elsewhere, much like a homeowner moving precious furniture from a flooded basement to dry ground. Highly liquid banking giants were the primary targets of this selling pressure. Sophisticated investors must look beyond the immediate red screens to understand the underlying structural shifts. Today at SR Money News IN, we decode the mechanics of this market reset. We will analyze if this correction presents a strategic entry point or signals deeper systemic vulnerabilities. To understand why these banking giants drag the index down, we must analyze their core economic moats. Private sector financial institutions act as the primary engines of India's credit expansion. Their core business model relies on low-cost deposit franchises to fund high-yielding loans. Think of these deposits as low-cost raw materials that a factory converts into high-margin finished products. HDFC Bank and Axis Bank command dominant positions in this financial supply chain. However, when the cost of these raw materials rises, the overall manufacturing margin naturally shrinks. This structural shift is currently testing the operational limits of their market dominance. Understanding this core asset-liability dynamic is crucial before evaluating their current financial health. A robust deposit franchise provides an exceptional competitive advantage during market downturns because it ensures access to stable, low-cost capital. Recent quarterly disclosures reveal a critical trend of net interest margin compression across the banking sector. Net interest margin represents the difference between the interest earned on loans and the interest paid to depositors. Metaphorically, it acts as the fuel efficiency of a bank's financial engine. As competitive pressures rise, banks are forced to offer higher interest rates to attract depositors. Consequently, their net margins have contracted by several basis points. This margin contraction directly impacts overall return on assets and bottom-line profitability. Investors are now questioning if these compressed margins represent a temporary cyclical trough or a long-term structural decline in banking profitability. For Axis Bank and HDFC Bank, managing these compressed margins requires balancing credit growth with deposit mobilization. This delicate act dictates their short-term earnings trajectory. Management teams at these top-tier institutions are actively shifting their capital allocation strategies. Instead of chasing aggressive asset growth, they are focusing on loan-to-deposit ratio rationalization. The loan-to-deposit ratio measures how much of a bank's deposits are lent out. Think of this as balancing water inside a physical bucket. If you pour too much water out without refilling it, the bucket runs dry. Executives are slowing down credit disbursement to align with sluggish deposit growth. This strategic pause aims to preserve liquidity and protect balance sheet integrity. While this capital discipline reduces near-term revenue growth, it provides essential long-term financial stability during macroeconomic uncertainty. During recent earnings calls, executives emphasized that maintaining a healthy liquidity coverage ratio takes precedence over market share acquisition. This focus on balance sheet health reflects a highly defensive institutional posture. The broader macroeconomic landscape is undergoing a significant transition. Global liquidity is tightening as major central banks maintain elevated interest rates for longer periods. This macro environment has triggered persistent foreign institutional investor outflows from emerging markets. Foreign capital rotation behaves like high ocean tides shifting water between different coastal harbors. As global capital flows back to developed markets, domestic institutional investors must step in to absorb the selling pressure. This massive transition is putting the resilience of the Indian financial ecosystem to the ultimate test. The structural long-term growth story remains intact, but the short-term path is filled with volatility. Furthermore, the rising cost of domestic funds is intensifying competition among lenders. This structural shift forces banks to choose between sacrificing credit growth or accepting lower profitability metrics. Regulatory intervention presents another layer of systemic risk for the banking sector. The central bank has tightened guidelines on unsecured retail lending by increasing risk-weighted assets. Unsecured lending includes loans without collateral, which can be compared to driving a high-speed vehicle without wearing a seat belt. By increasing risk weights, the regulator is essentially forcing banks to hold more capital against these loans, acting as a speed governor on their credit engines. This regulatory pressure limits the banks' ability to grow their high-yield credit portfolios. Consequently, lenders must adapt to a lower growth, lower-risk operating environment. HDFC Bank and Axis Bank are actively recalibrating their underwriting standards to comply with these stringent norms. This operational shift will likely suppress retail credit momentum in the upcoming quarters. Looking ahead, forward earnings visibility is undergoing a major institutional reassessment. Analysts are adjusting their price-to-book multiples downward to reflect slower credit growth and compressed margins. Price-to-book valuation compares a company's market price to its actual accounting value, similar to buying a commercial property based on its land value rather than its temporary rental income. This valuation reset is aligning stock prices with historical averages. While this process causes short-term pain, it effectively de-risks the sector for long-term compounding. Patient capital is waiting for these valuations to stabilize before committing fresh funds. Many institutional asset managers view this valuation adjustment as a healthy corrective phase. It separates fundamentally strong franchises from those relying on transient market momentum. As the market reprices risk, banks with pristine asset quality will likely emerge as relative outperformers. Despite immediate challenges, the multi-year investment thesis for Indian banking remains structurally sound. The ongoing formalization of the economy ensures a steady rise in credit demand over the next decade. Think of economic formalization as upgrading from basic dirt roads to high-capacity concrete highways. It allows commerce to move faster and more efficiently. As digital banking infrastructure scales, operational efficiencies will improve, reducing transaction costs. Dominant players will leverage their technology platforms to capture market share from weaker competitors. This technological moat will drive the next wave of nonlinear earnings growth. By migrating customer acquisition and servicing to digital channels, these banks can expand their operating leverage. This efficiency gains will eventually offset the near-term margin pressures currently witnessed. Long-term investors recognize that secular credit growth remains highly correlated with India's expanding gross domestic product. Navigating this volatile market environment requires institutional discipline and a long-term capital allocation framework. Rather than reacting to daily market fluctuations, sophisticated investors focus on asset insulation and sector cyclicality. Asset insulation is like installing sturdy storm shutters before an anticipated coastal weather front arrives. At SR Money News IN, we are committed to delivering deep, unbiased financial intelligence to help you protect and grow your capital. If you value this institutional-grade market analysis, please subscribe to SR Money News IN, hit the notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know how you are positioning your portfolio during this current market reset. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next deep dive analysis. Remember to analyze your equity exposure with a focus on balance sheet strength and management execution capability. Stay disciplined, manage your risks diligently, and let long-term compounding work in your favor.